Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholz, and this is It Worth My Time? Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal. So this is on Adult Swim. Thanks everyone for showing up. Sorry I'm a little bit late there. My computer decided at the very last second to crap out. And, I had to restart and all that good stuff that comes along with it, especially when you got the live stream set up and ready to go. And yeah, it just everything froze up on me there for a second. So let me get a little bit of business out of the way first. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. If you've already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will unclick the settings, and you can go into the bell itself and get as many or as little notifications as you want. You can also go to my website, suspendedfanimation.com, see the schedule up there. I change it out every week, and I also put it up on my Facebook page as well. I have a Facebook group. You guys can join that and talk amongst yourselves, post stuff, you know, share stuff that's nice. Don't, troll and all that kind of crap because I will boot your ass out of there. I also have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. That will happen at the end of this year. So, and hey, I saw Harry was here. Hey, Harry, how's it going? I know you've lurked every now and then, but first time in the chat there, which is kind of cool. So Harry is someone I went to school with for animation. I kind of figured he'd be there, for this one because we both have a love of Genndy's work. So, for those of you who don't know who Tartakovsky is, he has been doing a lot of animation stuff for years, quite honestly. Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, to name a few. One of my personal favorites is between episodes 2 and 3, Star Wars episodes 2 and 3. He did a whole bunch of shorts for the Clone Wars. It was the first animated Clone Wars. I know Disney wants you to think that Dave Filoni's Clone Wars is the first one, but no, actually, Genndy's is the first one, to tell you the truth. And I hate to say it, it's a little bit better. Um, don't get me wrong, Dave Filoni stuff is awesome. It's great. But what Genndy did for Clone Wars, it made me want to see the third movie because I was not going to see the third movie in the theaters until he started doing these shorts. And I think they're like 12 minutes long, something like that, each episode. And it actually ends where episode 3 starts off. So when you see General Grievous coming out of his shuttle and he's wheezing, that's a direct result at the end of Tartakovsky's animated shorts. So if you guys want to, take a look at that, see if it's out there someplace. I think it is out on the YouTubes out there someplace. Go and take a look. It's very well worth the find. But that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about here is, and I'm not going to spoil anything about any of this too. Genndy actually has a new series out on Adult Swim. It's called Primal, or Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal is what it's called. And, it's 5 episodes long. Season 1 is only 5 episodes, and they're half-hour episodes, and there is no dialogue. I'll tell you this. So what is it about? It's about a caveman and a dinosaur, basically a T-Rex, that end up working together because of a mutual thing that happens. I'm not going to say what it is because, and it's just this visceral, primal thing, and it's gory. It's very gory. It's very violent, and it's the it's very cinematic. It's very this is the way you do storytelling. If you can do storytelling without having to have words or script or anything, well, I should say you still script it out when you're doing this even without dialogue. um but yeah, not having a vocal script, I should say, to map everything out and tell your audience what's going on, that's when you know you've actually become a master storyteller. And that's what this is. We already know that Tartakovsky is able to do this with Samurai Jack. He's done this in many, many, many episodes of that. But he takes this to a new level where Spear, who is the caveman, and Fang, who is the dinosaur, um, basically they tell this story without without any words, to tell you the truth, and it's really damn good. 5 episodes, and I watched all 5 episodes back to back. I just burned right through them, and some really good stuff. But like I said, it's very, very violent, very gory, especially the last episode. The last episode, I was kind of shocked by how much gore there was and how he could do it. And I love the animation style because sometimes he gets indistinct on backgrounds and things like that. Sometimes he goes more detailed, especially when he's showing Fang, like the close up of Fang's eye. You get to see the scales and things like that. And then you get sketchiness sometimes, like of when Spear is running through the forest and he's or running through the jungle and he's down low like an animal kind of thing, and you kind of have him more sketched out. And what I mean by that is the lines on him are kind of wild and they move out. It's just beautiful, quite honestly, the way it works. If you're not a fan of animation, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you're not a fan of animation, you're probably not going to be a fan of this. But it's good storytelling. And this is also, if you're looking at trying to put together stories and things like that for your own personal work, this is a great place to start, is with this series. Samurai Jack as well. And I can't recommend it enough, quite honestly. It's one of those short but sweet and just good storytelling. And quite honestly, after watching this too, this is on Adult Swim, which is Cartoon Network. Viking Mitch, thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, so this is on Adult Swim, and they have it on their website for free, so you can actually just watch them, stream them for free. Um, if you have cable, I'm sure you can watch it on demand. If you, you know, and honestly, it's some really good stuff. Beautiful stuff too, just the way he does things. Yes, he is doing Hotel Transylvania franchise. That's right. Ancient Future. I forgot to mention that. Um, yeah, he does have a lot of pent up energy. He's, I believe he's roughly my age, and maybe he might be a little bit younger than me, but yeah, he's got a lot of energy for what he's got. He was supposed to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. He originally was going to work doing movies with a production company called The Orphanage, and The Orphanage was the um, cast, not cast off, but these guys from ILM that broke off of ILM, and they wanted to do their own production company, and he was going to be the animation arm of that. And then The Orphanage went tits up, unfortunately, and anything that he wanted to do with that died with them. And this is back in the early 2000s, which is kind of a shame. There was a couple of things that he was tied to that would have propelled him into the spotlight, quite honestly. And for whatever reasons, they died. Money, things like that. It happens. He would have been a huge household name. Why Disney? Well, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to work with Disney. He wanted to do his own stuff. He loved working with, the Clone Wars. Yeah, he was denied doing the Flintstones reboot. That's exactly it, Asian Future. So he decided to do his own. After watching this, though, I can totally see. I want him to do Conan. To tell you the truth, I want him to do an animated Conan series, which would be kick ass, because a lot of this follows. It feels like Conan in some scenes and things like that, especially the final episode. The final episode definitely feels like a Conan episode, and I can see him doing that. Uh, who do I see doing the voice for an animated Conan? Clancy Brown. Yeah, I see Clancy Brown doing the voice for animated Conan. Uh, yeah, I could see that definitely. I'm thinking, who else could I think of as an animated Conan voice? Actually, Sam Witwer as well could do that. Uh, Sam Sam Witwer could actually do a good Conan voice, I think. Um, oh, what's his name? Morgan, the guy who played Papa Winchester in Supernatural. Dean Morgan. Yeah. Yes, Sam Witwer did voice Darth Maul. You're correct, Joe Greer. He was also the model for Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. So if you take a look at the cover art on that, that is actually, and also the character in the game, that's actually Sam Witwer. That's what they put it. That's what they based it on, was on him. So yeah, I could see that, but yeah, some good stuff. Clancy Brown should voice the Start My Life story. That would be epic. I love Clancy Brown, quite honestly. I follow him on Twitter, and he's funny. He's got some good stuff. I haven't followed him on Instagram yet. I'm pretty sure he's got some good stuff on there. Not as good as Selma Hayek, being nude and putting getting acupuncture done. Because, hey, but what can I say? I caught the U.S. version being human late. So yeah, it got canceled. Joe Greer. It honestly, the UK version was a lot better, but the US version wasn't bad. Yeah. Yes. Tartakovsky is done with Samurai Jack. He might go back and do a movie here and there, but I don't think he's going to return to it. Especially with Mako having passed away. Mako being the voice of I can't remember the demon's name. It's been a while. But yeah, with Mako gone, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to return to that. Yeah. Yeah, the UK version was creepy and scary with the original three. I like the original three people better than the when they went through and rebooted, kind of. Did that soft reboot, which was kind of weird. Didn't really go over well with me. But yeah, so highly recommend. Yes, this is worth your time. Like I said, it's 5 episodes for the first season, and they're half-hour episodes each. So you can't go wrong with that. If you don't like the first one, then yeah. Then you don't have to watch any more than that, and it's not that much time. It's been taken up there for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. I want to see a season 2 because of how they left it. uh, I've had other things that I've liked. Viking Bitch. The last one I did was Mr. Robot. I liked that one, obviously, because I'm covering it. It was kind of a cheat, though, too. I mean, because I wanted to reintroduce Mr. Robot again to everybody. Exactly, Pen. They're each episode is pretty much self-contained. There is one callback to one of the episodes. That's it, and in all the 5 episodes, yeah, yeah, exactly. Agent Featured. That's why I didn't want to spoil it. It's just one of those things that, even though it has no dialogue, it's a special show. I mean, it just really is. It's one of those things that's kind of incredible that um, I'm glad that Genndy has this kind of relationship with Adult Swim where he can actually do this kind of work and put it out there, and we can see it, because it's one of those things. Oh, and Tyler Bates does the music for this as well. So for those of you who don't know who Tyler Bates is, he does a lot of movie soundtracks, TV shows, things like that. He also did, Bubba Hotep here. He was the one who scored Bubba Hotep there and did the music for that. So yeah, it's that level of goodness on there. So definitely give it a shot. Good stuff. And I mean, like I said, the gore, there's gore, there's blood, there's a lot of blood. So yeah. I've been rewatching all of Mr. Robot before diving into season 4. Oh wow. Okay. Where are you at, Apple Crow? If you don't mind my asking, because this season, man, season 4 has already been like, holy fuck! It's only 2 episodes in, and it's still just like, I can't believe where it's at. I feel like it's been back for like a season, already. You're about 1/3 through season 2. Um, Apple Crow, I would say just skip most of season 2. Season 2 is not that great. Skip most of season 2, watch the last 3 episodes, and then go into season 3. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people get bogged down once you get into season 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's not dragging. It definitely is not dragging at all. I'm glad that it's not dragging either, Joe. And that's that's the thing. You saw Sam Esmail had. It's been 2 years. He's had enough time to work on it. He thought everything through, and he is putting together his best final season that he can, which I'm glad. You know, yeah, I know it really did start that whole season did start off so slow, didn't it, Pen? Ah, yeah. Um, Vikivich, I admit I need to get caught up on Mr. Robot. However, I have a great excuse. Soon, Dennis will reveal all. It's in the mail. Huh. You need to resend me that code as well, Viking bitch. There was some numbers that were missing, so I didn't see where it was. I'm almost willing to say it was well worth the two. Yeah, I would say it was well worth the 2 year wait, Pen. I'm all in on this one, especially after this week's episode. Holy shit, that's all I can say. The ending, and I know there's red herrings in there. There's stuff that's been thrown out there. Sam is really bad about putting a whole bunch of red herrings out there for you to follow, and then you go down the wrong hole, and yeah, and then you have to take a side trip and come back around, drop a little bit of acid so you can get higher to move over, and yeah, well, and he's not disappointing on this one. He's doing the same thing. Yeah. Was the number a red herring? I don't think so. I think it was just missing 2 numbers. That's all it was. Yeah. But yeah, so going back to Primal, definitely good stuff. Um, and like I said, try and find the original Clone Wars out there. I believe it's on YouTube. It is very well worth the watch. You get a sense of who Anakin is, you get a sense of who Mace is, you get a sense of who Obi-Wan is, all that kind of stuff, and it actually fleshes out the characters. And I'm fairly sure Dave Filoni used a lot of, well, Lucas and Genndy talked, of course, in order to have him make those episodes. So I'm sure Lucas, of course, talked to Dave Filoni so that they could do the Clone Wars series as well. So I know they did, because Filoni is pretty much George Lucas's Padawan, if you will, Padawan. But I know that Genndy also talked to him as well, and it's the same thing. Yeah, if it wasn't Dave Filoni, it would have been Genndy. If it wasn't Genndy, I should say, if Genndy had not stepped down, um, he would have been the person who was doing the Clone Wars for Disney. But he just wanted to do his own stuff. He really did want to do his own stuff. And I'm sure also going after the orphanage, being the animation over the orphanage, probably hurt him as well. Do you know Tartakovsky's next project, Agent Future? Let me see. I can take a look and see what it is. So as we're talking here, and as I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking, and what am I seeing here? It looks like, wow, they're not saying much on this one, huh? That's kind of a weird thing for them. Let's go to director. I know he already did Transylvania or Hotel Transylvania. He did a short Hotel Transylvania 3. He just did Primal. That was it. That's the last thing they have on there. Oh, and by the way, he also did this series for Adult Swim called Symbionic Titan, which was awesome as well. He and Korgoth of Barbaria, he did a TV short which was essentially Conan the Barbarian, but animated, and that was just fucking awesome. Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory. Uh, like I said, this man has done everything, and he's well worth it. He is the real deal when it comes to animation. How many months away is the Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, because they're not talking about it at all, which is kind of funny. It's December 12th, I think is what it is, something like that. So I think we have less than 2 months away. Oh yeah, I remember Thundar the Barbarian from back in the day, Joe. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm still watching Star Wars Resistance. I hope Disney Plus resurrects some form of it. I got to go back and watch that at some point. I know season 2 is its last season, and I'm not in any rush to actually watch it. So, yeah. Would you say this is as good as Castlevania? Um, they're different stories, Viking Bitch. They really are. Castlevania is much more gothic driven, and it's a slower pace, whereas Primal is much more visceral. It is very in your face, and literally there is no dialogue. The two main characters do not speak, and neither do any of the other characters that they interact with. So it's a lot of grunts, a lot of kind of growling kind of thing, all that stuff, yelling, but nothing. Yeah, it's a different story. I love Castlevania. Don't get me wrong. Warren Ellis is one of my favorite writers as well, and he's the one who wrote Castlevania. That's why I said it. It's a completely different feel to it. Uh, yeah, exactly. Quest for Fire. If you've watched Quest for Fire, kind of in that vein, only a lot more action and grunts and growling. That's exactly right. A typical Friday night. Yeah. So good stuff, though. As you saw from the thumbnail, that's at the beginning of this video, that is one of the scenes. You say it's just grunts and valleys. Sometimes there are mountaintops too, and sometimes they're in a river. Sometimes they're in a field. Sometimes they're just out in the open plains. Yeah. Grunts and caverns would be. Yeah, that's true. There is grunts and caves. But yeah, I really do like the dynamic between Spear and Fang. It's very interesting, and how it all gets started, and it's a really good story, quite honestly. Oh, it's much better than Feelings in Hallways. Oh, so yeah, definitely check it out. I can't recommend it enough, and go and watch it. Like I said, watch the first episode. If you're not hooked, then that's 4 episodes you don't need to watch. Just watch it through all the way to the end. That's all I'm saying. Watch that first episode all the way through and see if you're not hooked by it. So with that said, if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also, hit the bell too, so you can follow me when I'm on. You'll get a 50-50 chance of actually getting notified of when I'm on next, because that's the way YouTube rolls. You can also go on my website, suspendedfanimation.com, and take a look at my schedule up there. It's also my Facebook page as well. If you're still on the fence about joining up, you're going to see a video that pops up here. Basically, what YouTube has an algorithm of all the stuff you've been watching, and what they'll do is they will match that algorithm to one of the videos in my video bank and pop it up there for you guys. Up here is going to be the last thing I did, which was Mr. Robot. That's going to be up there for you to watch as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet, which I will at the very end of this year. And you're welcome, guys. Yes, Watchmen will be on Sunday. So tomorrow I'm off. Thursday is Feelings in Hallways. Feelings in Hallways, where I talk about the DC on CW, or CW on DC, or it's actually DC on CW. So all the DC shows that are on the CW, I kind of just lump those together and do them one night on Thursday. Friday is going to be Titan Season 2 continuation with Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is the episode of this Friday. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And we're going to talk about that. And then Sunday is the excellent final season of Mr. Robot. We'll see what the hell's going on. Arrow was last night, Joe. Yeah. Arrow was last night, I think. Or maybe it's tonight. I can't remember. So I watch it the day after, because I watch it for free, and I can watch it for free anytime pretty much. But yeah, yes, there was another small bump in the subs. Pen, you're right. Mr. Robot, all the Mr. Robot heads have come out, and they're watching, which is good. And there's a lot of theories out there right now, a lot of theories on Mr. Robot, and that's on par for any other season of this show. And that's what happens. People want to talk about it. That's what I'm here for. I want to talk about this stuff too. And that's why I have those kind of formats where I do the recap and then the review. So the recap helps me talk through it, and then the review is where I talk, I talk a little bit more about it. So it's on tonight, Agent Future. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, help me grow. Oh, and the channel too. That's right. We're all perverts here. It's okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, all of you who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you all again, not tomorrow, but on Thursday for Feelings in Hallways. And perverts, monks. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, it may just get bit by Fang, because that's why Fang is. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.